Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Oh, good. Are you nervous to be on live TV?
No,
I am. um, it's such a blessing. We only met last night, and yet it was such an incredible download to be with you today and to offer you rebirthing. Would you like to introduce yourself to all the family?
oh, thank you. It will be a pleasure.
Thank you.
Uh, my name is Gabriela Bruch. I came here to the Boulder area to participate at the Evolutionary Leaders meeting and now sharing with my new family. So I'm happy being here. You have the privilege of having a beautiful landscape. This is a beautiful place, and this is a beautiful people. So, uh, well,
Where do you come from?
I come from Argentina. I come from Buenos Aires. It's a big city in Argentina, and well, this landscape is completely different with mountains and nature, and but I enjoy it very much.
I'm glad. We want you to come back.
I hope so.
We're going to bring you back,
Thank you.
of course. Please share with us what you offer in your teachings and how you like to deliver to the world your heart.
I work in many organizations related to peace and oneness in Argentina that have impact worldwide. I work for Humanities Team, URI, the Council of Peace of Argentina, Net Spirit, and I am the founder of the Sin Barreras group, Consciousness Beyond Borders, and well, and I also give lectures on spiritual leadership. Spiritual leadership is the name of a book I wrote, and
And the
well,
name is Spiritual Leadership.
yes,
That's it? Okay,
that's it.
great.
And well, I try to use my skills and talents in service to humanity in the ways I can, just with my word, with my voice, with my writings, or perhaps gathering groups for studying together how to live better, or meditating together, or doing campaigns of free hugs, going to the streets just to hug people
Great.
and share the love we already are.
Share the love we already are.
Yeah,
So you're in a chair,
I am in a chair.
and you seem very busy in a chair.
Yeah,
Seem to get around to many countries and places and meetings and conferences. How do you do it? What's your secret?
well, I had a car accident 30 years ago, and at that moment it was very challenging. We crashed front to front with the truck, and two of the people that were in the car that we were going fishing died at the moment. Fortunately, I was 14 at those moments. I'm alive. At those moments, I didn't want to keep alive. I, I had about 3 years of complete depression. But after that, life began to change. I had many I had synchronicities, and Sai Baba appeared in my life, and I experienced a great expansion of my consciousness. Not from one day to the other, but it was a process of accepting what was happening. I fortunately had the company of my family and some good friends that helped me overwhelm those challenging moments. And well, after a period of time, I continued with studies. I finished studying business management, and then I continue with my spiritual practices.
And what were they? Would you share?
I began with the company of Sai Baba. Sai Baba saved my life. Well, I have a lot of experiences and stories with him that,
Do you want to share a story?
will be a lot of time. I don't know if we
Too
have
much
enough.
time? Were you in India with Sai Baba?
Twice.
Twice.
I think that there was not something that happened from one day to another, this change of life. In spite that there was some synchronicities when Sai Baba appeared in my life by some experiences I had, but participating in activities of service to others, participating in resocializing with other people, with being in touch with other people, studying, putting my mind in service to humanity instead of preoccupying with the problems I was having in those moments.
What he's saying is when he hit that third year and something clicked in him that wanted to remain alive, he started doing selfless service. He started doing seva. And we speak about seva, selfless service, seva, all the time, because it is a way of receiving and giving at the same time, but more so the giving, it's in the giving. And when you do selfless service, seva, you receive great benefits. Call them light, call them gifts, call them lovers, call them whatever you want, but you receive courage, right? And it comes so full, right? That it gives you have a job.
Yes, that's it.
You have a purpose.
That's it. And 10 years later of that depression, when I was overwhelmed, those problems I had, I began going to the same Institute of Rehabilitation where I did my physical rehabilitation, to speak with the patients that were lying in bed at those moments, to give them hope, to tell them about my experience and how they could overcome also their problems, their pain. So because it for me was possible for everyone could be possible.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Deep sharing here. We're deeply receiving deep gifts that aren't written in books. They're actually experienced. With Kundalini Yoga, we, like the rebirthing today, you experience. And it's only in the experience, folks, that you can read a bunch of books, but many people have said they never saw Yogi Bhajan with one book ever. And probably not Sai Baba either. It's the wisdom, it's the grace, it's the download. It's the grace. And it's the service. It's going in to the snowstorm when it's the middle of summer and putting on the hard coat and getting on in the plow and plowing through. Right? Against all odds. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And you did it. And we're blessed on this planet to have you.
Thanks.
Thank you. We have a lot of disruption through young people's behaviors towards themselves in America. Suicide, opioid abuse, drug abuse, a lot of sadness in the youth and in the world in general, in America in general right now. Would you give us some advice?
Yeah, everything, I think that all those problems that happen not only in the US, all over the world, come because people don't find a sense of life, how to live.
How did you find that?
You have to look in yourself and decide and choose what would you like to be, who would you like to be, and go for it. It's not easy.
You've been very brave.
It's not easy. Sometimes I still have moments where it's difficult to be in the way. I lose myself in the travels of the mind.
Yes.
But you have to go beyond the mind.
Thank you.
I have a phrase, a quote that I used to keep in mind, that is, above the darkest clouds, the sun always shines. All is a matter of flying high. And it's like that. For example, when you fly in a plane, you see that there are clouds, but above that, there is always a sun. And when we have troubles in our mind, when we have a lot of things in our mind that doesn't make us think clever, that takes us to places where we don't want to be, we have to keep in mind that we can go beyond that. Because in our truth, in what we really are, in our soul, in what we are, the soul, there are not so many clouds. There is more purity, there is more serenity, there is more sense of life. So when you can find that place, you are able to decide who you want to be. I remember after the 3 years of depression after the accident, and when I began the spiritual path, where that suddenly, or in a few years, when I got that expansion of myself, I felt one with everything. I felt a sensation of gratitude, of plenitude, of being one with God and one with everything. Then perhaps I came to reality again.
Right.
But at those moments, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be president. I wanted to be.
Yeah, so you found the foundation, and of course, as Ken Wilber says, we wake up, we grow up. And so you grew up in the foundation, and then you said, I want to clean up now. So the cleaning up part of the growing up, because I feel many people get stuck at the stage of growing up. They think, I can be president. I can be everything.
No, that was in a moment. Then I came back to reality.
Right. And you started cleaning up what wasn't going to be reality. You weren't going to be president.
Yeah, no.
But you were in your heart again, and you were willing to live, and you were willing to go through the challenges that every human being would go through in their life in general, not necessarily a spiritual life, but any part of anyone's life has its challenges. It's giving birth is what it's doing. You're impregnated, and then the first couple months of pregnancy you're feeling fantastic, and then you hit the 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th, and every month is different, right? You're growing.
I
the
guess
baby's
so.
growing.
I guess so. I never be in
Well, for women, but men also go through this with their wives. They are their partners, but it's interesting to bring this part of you and you in general and specifically up, because we can, all of us, some of us can move our bodies, right? I mean, I'm a yogini, I can move my body. I give great thanks to be able to use my hands to bring them in prayer. I give great thanks to hold a mudra. I give great thanks to drive. I'm not self-reliant on others to do that for me. Yet, do I take that ever for granted? I'm a human being, and of course we take these things for granted, and we text in the car, and we do all sorts of very strange things. Answer phones in the car, and we multitask. Whereas you, it's kind of a envious state in many ways, because you get to just sit with you. And when we were doing the rebirthing and you woke up, one thing you shared was, I'm in my head a lot and I need to be in my heart. And when you're sitting still like you are, and you can't go and keep yourself busy all the time physically, I implore you to drop into your heart more and to say no more to the chaos. That even though you're in a chair, you can be bogged down with a ton of people asking a ton of stuff from you, right? Is that true? A lot of people ask for a lot of things, no matter what anyone's condition is, correct?
Yes. Sorry, now we have to stop because I didn't understand very well.
It's okay. So what I'm saying is you get to really think, as all of us get to, some of us get to move around
Yes.
a lot, which is very distracting. But you have to sit and think. Or your choice is to sit and be in your heart. Right? You meditate. We
Yes.
try to get people as teachers to sit and meditate. We try very hard. And it's very hard for people to sit and meditate. In the Zendo, the masters go around and hit you on the back if you move.
Yes.
So I'm asking about this practice that you've had for the last 30 years of sitting and meditating. And yet, you're very busy. Man, you're a teacher, right? You're a philosopher, you go around the country, you do many different things. So what I'm hearing from you is that you are offering a service of so many more, on so many more different levels than even you might not know about. But for us, your heart is so wide open that it's just so delicious to sit in your company that you really don't have to do very much more than you're already doing, and maybe a little less than you're already doing.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
How would that feel?
Yes, I understand. Many times I'm not conscious about that. Yes, sometimes we feel or we think that we have to do, we have to be, we have to say, we have to tell. But as you say, we just have to be present in the moment and be who you are. And perhaps when you are at the place of the moment, when you are at the place of who you really are, you begin to shine, and with your presence, you begin to illuminate all that surrounds you. And many times you are not conscious about that.
Yes.
But that happens.
Well, it's happening right now. It's what I'm picking up right now from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If everyone could live in a state of gratefulness where we can say thank you to each one, to each heart you touch, the world would be completely different. So,
And I think and feel in my heart center that I've received a gift today.
me too.
And I'm so happy to share this with everyone around us that gets to receive that. Those that are witnessing this connection, this heart-to-heart connection. And bravery and grit and courage. And that's what I like about you, is that against all odds, even your mind, you said, no way. I'm living. And now, because I'm living, the whole world's going to change. Because I'm living in it. And I chose to do that. So if there's one thing you want to tell the world in that camera, what do you want to say to them?
Stop, let me think.
I'm not putting you on the spot. Anything spontaneous that you want to tell those young people that are suffering with cancer at the age of 2, 3, 4. The ones that came in with the cancer.
Yeah, okay.
Those.
Never, never give up. Life is much more than what you may think. In my experience, and one moment of my life after the terrible car accident I suffered, that I already suffer in those moments, I wanted to be dead. Then life showed me that suffering was a choice, and I didn't suffer anymore. I began to do the things that I already wanted to do. Life showed me that I could doing a lot of things, and I am already doing a lot of things. Fortunately, I had the company of my family, and if you are not having the company of someone, you have to know that you are always with someone because you are never alone. God is in you, you are in God, you are God already. We are one, and in this knowledge, in this awareness, taking in mind that above the darkest clouds, the sun always shines, all is a matter of flying high. With that in mind, there are no barriers that can not be surfaced. Limitations are only in your mind. In the reality, there are no limitations. So go ahead with everything what you may want to do, because everything is possible. And if there are some moments when there are difficulties, when there are challenges, well, let them come. In some moment they will go, and you will still be alive, and who knows what will come later. The universe is wiser than what you may think. So let it be.
That was very beautiful. Thank you. And I heard 2 words, heart, and I heard trust. Where can we find you? What's your
Where?
website? What's your YouTube channel? Can you give us all your information where we can find your books? Just your website would be enough.
Yes, okay. I have a website. It's www.gabrielabruch.com.ir.
So it's Gabriel.
avruj.com.ir.
And I am Karuna at Light on Kundalini.com. And you'll see us there together. And we'll be doing a lot more together too.
Yes, I'm sure.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Satnam.
Thank you. Thank you.